June 18th. It's hard to believe it's been 6 years since I began researching the strange and wondrous secrets of Gravity Falls, Oregon. In all my travels, I never have observed so many curious things. Gravity Falls is indeed a geographical oddity. But the strangest thing about this town is the question, why? Why is it that this one remote location houses more paranormal, ultra-average, and super-usual phenomena than any other location on Earth? There must be a hidden law of nature, a grand unified theory of weirdness, which explains how everything in Gravity Falls is connected. My benefactors trust that I will use their grant money to discover something incredible, and I believe this theory could be it. My continuing mission? Investigate the oddities of Gravity Falls, discover the grand unified theory of weirdness, publish theory, and join the ranks of Newton, Tesla, and Einstein, the pantheon of science. Some of my recent investigations include floating eyeballs. Hard to catch. They either have the power to see the future or have amazing peripheral vision. Are they watching me? Yes. What else would floating eyeballs be doing? Visible only at night. No retinal cord. No response to contact. Were they ever part of some more complete magical creature? Or have they always been disembodied eyes? Either way, they're deeply unsettling. They will just hover there, staring you down, like one of those portraits whose eyes follow you. Do not sleep with your windows open. Do not sleep with your windows open. Desmodus rotundus is small, short-haired, and even-tempered. Nothing like Gravity Falls' giant vampire bats. Mutated by waist dump, wingspan of 10 feet. The summer heat seems to draw them from their caves. The locals pretend it's mosquito season, but then why not use bug spray instead of garlic necklaces? Who do they think they are fooling? The bats will settle for cows or sheep, but would much rather feed off some feeble human. Human blood tastes. I can only assume human blood tastes better. I have not sampled human blood. Gnomes. I encountered my first gnome when I awoke one morning and found it arguing politics with the stuffed bear head above my fireplace. Danger unknown. They have shown themselves capable of complex thought, an admirable, alarming ability to stack their little bodies into giant formations. So keeping my snacks on higher shelves has done nothing to stop their persistent nibbling. Darn. Another gnome stole my glasses and ate 2 of my cassette tapes. Common height is 10 to 18 inches. This includes the hat. They refuse to remove their hats. Do they have pointy heads? Mushrooms are a huge part of the gnome's life. Used for money? Unkempt beards. Almost lost a finger trying to grab the hat. Several tried to kidnap me as an offering to the queen as I was sleeping, but I just drop-kicked them out the window when I awoke. Unsettling. Weakness unknown. Leaf blowers. Pointy hats. I saw one taking a squirrel bath. I wish I could unsee this. An entry that is long overdue. Case number 28. Never would I have believed that a simple doorway could spell your doom, but I have seen several tourists go through ordinary-looking doors and simply disappear into thin air, never to be seen again. This phenomenon is unexplained. Devourer's door-to-door salesman? The lunar cycle seems to have something to do with it. Avoid this door on Main Street. Gateway moon. Any door with the number 13 appears to be a portal to a different plane of existence, or instant death. Haven't had the nerve to test it. One briefly appeared in my basement. I lost my calculator inside. Cursed doors. Knock, knock. Who's there? The forces of evil. Darkness energy readings 40% higher this year. Cursed doors are a common component of life in Gravity Falls. The locals know which doors to avoid. Visitors are left to fend for themselves. The Tourist Bureau really should publish some sort of pamphlet. Note to self, write letter to Tourist Bureau. Myself. As I've been cataloging these oddities, it has occurred to me that I have yet to turn the microscope on the oddity with which I am most intimately familiar, myself. If I succeed in publishing my theory, I am bound to become something of a public figure, so, for the sake of historical record, I should perhaps touch on the subject. Who am I? To put it simply, I am strange. I was born strange. I am attracted to the strange. The strange has always been attracted to me. Where I grew up, we were encouraged to follow rules and fit the mold. I recall finding a shrunken head in the family pawn shop and bringing it to show and tell. Every other student brought a football trophy, or a book about football. All of these objects were thrown at me as I gave my report. If my brother hadn't shielded me and punched one of the other kids in the nose, I might have spent the rest of the year in the hospital. When I was growing up, nothing I ever did was right. My grades were too high, and my social skills were too low. Worst of all, I was born with a rare birth defect. 6 fingers on each hand. Although my family tried to convince me that this made me special, and it did help with shadow puppets, I was mocked by classmates and shunned by girls. I would hide in the library, poring over books about the supernatural and searching for other freaks of the world like me. I still recall reading about the Bermuda Triangle as a child. The thought of a place where you could just disappear into the unknown fascinated me. Perhaps it was luck, perhaps destiny. But I have since found my very own Bermuda Triangle. Gravity Falls, the place where I fit in. It is here that I will find my grand theory, and maybe find myself in the process. My muse. One more thing about me. I have a secret. Although I have relied my entire life on my intuition and intelligence to provide me with answers, 2 years ago, I experienced a miracle while napping in the forest, and that has forever changed the way I think about the world and my place in it. I was contacted by a muse. I know it sounds crazy, but a strange being from a higher plane took sympathy with my research for knowledge, and amazingly chose me to be a receptacle for divine and otherworldly insight. As preposterous as it sounds, this being has provided me again and again with eerily accurate tips and predictions that have aided me in my studies. Is this being a spirit, an alien, a dream, or merely part of my overactive imagination? Ultimately, interpretation is irrelevant. He is a fickle being who is unpredictable and only shows up when I least expect it. But I am always eager and ready for the next time he wishes to bestow his rare insights on my mind. Note to self: must keep this a complete secret. If anyone finds out about this, they will surely think I am insane, and my grant money may be revoked. It is best to leave this part of my research in the shadows. Now, back to my investigations. Note: burn this page after research is complete. Forest oddities. Mothman. This urban legend of the Pacific Northwest is more than a myth. It has been drawn to the bug zapper in my backyard multiple times. Making high clicking sounds and feeding on stray dogs and hobos, this 10-foot humanoid is terrifying, but gets easily trapped behind screen doors. Do not touch. Dissolves into 100 fluttering moths on contact. Believed to start out as a caterpillar man, but this has never been observed. Yet. Seen hovering by lampposts and stoplights. Beard cubs. These living ambulatory beards, with some with mustaches, roam the forest in packs and will steal the aftershave out of your camping gear. They nest on trees, bushes, and lumberjacks' faces. One tried to attack me once, and I barely escaped clean-shaven. Always carry a pocket razor. Portal potty. A mysterious system of space warping outhouses seems to be strategically spreading throughout the town's forest. I was able to successfully use one to transport myself, but wound up in the middle of the desert and had to hitchhike home. No idea who created them, but I'm never going in again. Sometimes it's just best to hold it.